Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
The adrenaline is pumping. Bradley Taylor is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Bradley Taylor is driving through Cheetah. Bradley Taylor crosses the start-finish line at the end of their outlet. Sean Motter is on their out lap.
Patience is key in these early moments, Peter. But I have a feeling Sean Motter is going to make it count.
Sean Motter appears focused and prepared driving through Jutskay Sweep.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Rose Stadler is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run. Rose Stadler is looking relatively composed going through Purple. It looks like Bradley Taylor is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how Bradley Taylor handles it.
Bradley Taylor is driving through the crocodiles.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
You can feel the tension building. Rose Stadler is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time. Rose Stadler appears focused and prepared driving through Mineshaft. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Peter Geldenhuys is looking relatively composed going through Crowthorne.
I have always loved this section of the track.
JP Brand will be looking to use this first hot lap to set a solid time in the standings.
It's certainly exciting to watch. But let's not forget, the goal is to secure a good starting position for the race.
The adrenaline is pumping. Peter Geldenhuys is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Peter Geldenhuys is driving through Liuka. It's clear that Ernest Besson is pushing Theo Kart to the very edge of traction in this qualifying lap. Ernest Besson appears focused and prepared driving through Cheetah. Ernest Heather is up -0.13. Ernest Heather is looking relatively composed going through the S's.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Ernest Besson is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do?
Well, Peter, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
Ernest Besson is driving through Clubhouse Bend. Peter Geldenhuys is on their out lap. Peter Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through the crocodiles.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
Marnus is up -0.42. Marnus has some work to do as that 144.635 is only good enough for 11th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
The pressure is on in this qualifying session, but Warren Dodd is rising to the occasion. Warren Dodd is looking relatively composed going through Cheetah.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
It's all about strategy in these early moments. Joni Geldenhuys is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right. Joni Geldenhuys is driving through Sunset.
I have always loved this section of the track.
Ernest Besson looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve?
They'll need to put together a perfect lap, hitting every apex and pushing the car to the limit without going over it.
Ernest Besson has some work to do as the 305.016 is only good enough for 14th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they are going to find it before the session is over.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Bradley Taylor is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do? It looks like Anrose Stadler is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Bradley Taylor looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve? Bradley Taylor has some work to do as that 143.730 is only good enough for 9. JP Brand is driving through Clubhouse Bend and is up -0.11. Richard Reshka is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do?
Every driver needs something different, Peter. Some drivers excel when they push harder, while other drivers benefit more from relaxing and being in a flow state.
Ernest Heather looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve? Richard Reshka is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do? Marnus looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve? You can feel the tension building. Lyle Ramsey is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time. Richard Reshka is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do? The adrenaline is pumping. Jacobus Besson is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time.
These are the moments that really matter. Let's see if Jacobus Besson can deliver.
Jacobus Besson appears focused and prepared driving through Clubhouse Bend. Anrose Stadler will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session. Taihan Van Ruyen looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve?
Well, Peter, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
Taihan Van Ruyen is looking relatively composed going through the S's.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
Sean Motter is up minus 0.17. Sean Motter is driving through Sunset. Ernest Besson is up minus 0.11.
Well, Peter, it seems like Ernest Besson has got the need for speed and nothing is going to stop them now.
Incredible drive by Danny Van Ruyen so far, earning them second. The competition is fierce, however, and they will need to quickly find more time to get even closer to the sharp end of the grid. Danny Van Ruyen will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session. And there goes Taihan Van Ruyen, currently in position 3. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result.
Spot on analysis, Peter. Taihan Van Ruyen has positioned themselves well in third. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
Taihan Van Ruyen appears focused and prepared driving through Clubhouse Bend.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
A tough qualifying session for Marnus. They're currently mired in 14th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. Marnus is looking relatively composed going through Sunset. A solid qualifying performance by Danny Van Ruyen, positioning them in second at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
I couldn't agree more, Peter. Danny Van Ruyen has done a fantastic job to claim second. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Taihan Van Ruyen has secured a respectable third in the qualifying session. This is a great spot to use as a launch pad for a strong race performance. Impressive work from JP Brand, who has claimed fourth on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. A solid performance from Sean Motter as they currently hold position 7. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. Sean Motter has some work to do as that 142.944 is only good enough for 7th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
Ernest Heather has put in a great effort and currently holds 10th. With the session winding down, time is running out for them to unleash their full potential and improve their starting position. It's an impressive showing by Richard Reshka, currently in 5th. They've showcased their talent, but will need to find those crucial extra tenths to climb higher. Richard Reshka is now up -0.11 in Liucon.
There's no guarantee that Richard Reshka can maintain this delta through the rest of the lap.
It's an impressive showing by Enro Stadler in qualifying. They have set the bar high, leading the way with their exceptional performance. It's a fantastic position to be in, and they will be looking to convert it into a strong race result. Getting ready to get things underway.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Danny Van Ruyen starting in 2nd position.
I think we are all looking forward to seeing what Danny Van Ruyen can do from here.
Lining up in 3rd is Taihan Van Ruyen.
Starting from here, Taihan Van Ruyen may already have expectations of a podium finish.
JP Brand has qualified 4th. As the drivers prepare to take off, Richard Reshka sits in 5th place on the starting grid. In the middle of the pack, we have Bradley Taylor starting from the 6th position on the grid. Sean Motter is placed in 7th. Jamie Nichols will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 8th on the grid.
They would have liked to be higher up, but that's not going to stop Jamie Nichols fighting their way through. This is where the real action begins. The drivers will be jostling for position and trying to gain any advantage they can.
Absolutely. It's a crucial part of the race, and the drivers will need to be on top of it to make it through here unscathed.
The first sector is always a bit of a nail-biter. With so many cars bunched together, one small mistake can be disastrous.
They'll need to keep their wits about them and stay focused if they want to come out of this section unscathed. The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one. The tensions are high, and no one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap.
Let's hope everyone is able to stay focused for the challenge ahead.
Ernest Heather must have taken a page out of a superhero's book, because they've just shot off like a flash.
Now, they just need to maintain that speed and focus.
Out of the gates, and Joni Geldenhuys is already turning heads, gaining positions quicker than a blink of an eye.
It's early days yet, but if they can consolidate their move, then it puts them in a strong position for the race.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Bradley Taylor is closing in on JP Brand.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Bradley Taylor needs to stay patient and wait for JP Brand to make a mistake.
Look at that. Jamie Nichols is hot on the tail of Sean Motter. Things are heating up as Jacobus Besson tries to close the gap to Jamie Nichols. The pressure is on for Anro Stadler as they try to catch up to Danny Van Ruyen.
It's a game of strategy now as Anro Stadler hunts down Danny Van Ruyen. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Oh, the JP Brand is in trouble.
They're coming up fast on Bradley Taylor and there's no way they're going to be able to slow down in time.
Looks like someone needs to tell JP Brand that this isn't a demolition derby. That kind of driving just won't cut it at this level. Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Jamie Nichols in 8th and Jacobus Besson. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.3 seconds.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Oh, we've got trouble here. Sean Motter is coming up fast on Bradley Taylor, but it looks like they're going too fast to make that maneuver.
Still using all their muscles, except maybe the one that matters most.
Jacobus Besson is on a mission, chasing Jamie Nichols who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Jacobus Besson should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Jamie Nichols.
The race is heating up as Lyle Ramsey in 9th closes in on Jacobus Besson. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake from JP Brand. This could be costly. Oh, this is getting intense. Ernest Heather is just behind Danny Van Ruyen. It's a game of inches now as Bradley Taylor tails Joni Geldenhuys closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
The chase between Bradley Taylor and Joni Geldenhuys is like a high-speed game of tag only.
Stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake from JP Brand. This could be costly. A commanding performance from Ernest Besson, who has increased their lead over Peter Geldenhuys, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors.
That's a really strong performance from Ernest Besson. They're not giving Peter Geldenhuys any chances to catch up.
This is a thrilling battle as Lyle Ramsey edges closer to Jamie Nichols in their fight for P7.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Lyle Ramsey needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Looks like Lyle Ramsey is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control.
Sean Motter is giving it their all as they chase down Peter Geldenhuys in P11. The battle for 3 is heating up as Bradley Taylor tries to catch Ernest Heather in P3. It looks like Jacobus Besson is pushing hard to catch up to Jamie Nichols. That's not a small gap, but Jacobus Besson has what it takes to challenge for the position. Peter Geldenhuys needs to find some speed, or maybe get more consistent. Annie, they have just put in a slower lap than Sean Motter. The gap between Sean Motter and Peter Geldenhuys is razor thin as they vie for 11th in this nail-biting contest. And Sean Motter has just won the place from Peter Geldenhuys.
Yes, but Sean Motter can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
It's a battle of wills out there, with JP Brand trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Sean Motter. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
It's going to be tough for JP Brand, as Sean Motter seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen JP Brand pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Ernest Besson is looking for an opportunity to get round JP Brand.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake. It's just a matter of who cracks first.
Bradley Taylor seems to be putting the pressure on Ernest Heather. Breaking news, folks. Oh dear, Ernest Heather has had an incident. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Ernest Besson in 12th chases after JP Brand. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Ernest Besson needs to find a way to close the gap.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But JP Brand is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Ernest Besson in P12 doing everything they can to catch up.
Jamie Nichols is placed 4th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Jacobus Besson, who is 0.3 seconds behind.
Jacobus Besson is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Jamie Nichols makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 4th.
Jacobus Besson is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving.
Breaking news, folks. Oh dear, Ernest Heather has had an incident. Oh, this is getting intense. Jacobus Besson is just a few car lengths behind Jamie Nichols. A setback for Jacobus Besson, who has just been passed.
Sucks to be them, Peter.
Every move counts now as Bradley Taylor works to reel in JP Brand and overtake for P8.
Bradley Taylor needs to focus if they want to make a move and pass JP Brand.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Jamie Nichols is closing in on Joni Geldenhuis. Breaking news, folks. Oh dear, Ernest Heather has had an incident. Bradley Taylor is running 9th. They're trying to catch JP Brand.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Bradley Taylor is really walking that fine line.
Things are heating up as Sean Motter tries to close the gap to Ernest Besson. Is building as Lyle Ramsey trails behind Sean Motter. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Sean Motter is pushing to maintain the lead, while Lyle Ramsey is working to close in and challenge for the position. The race is really heating up. Ernest Heather is hunting down Jacobus Besson with everything they've got.
The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds. Can Ernest Heather close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
The pressure is on for Bradley Taylor as they try to catch up to JP Brand. Big gains for Bradley Taylor as they move up the field, leaving JP Brand behind.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Bradley Taylor needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
As they speed through the kink, Jamie Nichols is relentlessly pursuing Joni Geldenhuis in a high-stakes battle for position. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. It's a thrilling pursuit as Lyle Ramsey is right behind Sean Motter, keeping the pressure on for 10th place.
And the drivers know it too, Peter. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Things are heating up as Jamie Nichols closes in on Joni Geldenhuis. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. It seems like Jacobus Besson is struggling. Their last lap time was a bit off the pace of Bradley Taylor.
Hopefully Jacobus Besson can find some of that time they are losing and get it back.
Bradley Taylor wants to close that gap with Jacobus Besson.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
The pressure is on, but these drivers are showing tremendous respect for each other while going all out. It's a masterclass in clean, hard racing. This is going to be a nail-biter. Jamie Nichols is defending for their life, but Richard Reshka is right there doing it. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
With just 0.3 seconds between them, Jamie Nichols will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
The action is non-stop as Richard Reshka shadows Jamie Nichols through every twist and turn, determined to claim third. A brilliant maneuver from Richard Reshka, who has just moved up the field. This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to work with someone who shares my passion for motor racing. Plus, your insightful commentary is making this race even more exciting.
Bradley Taylor wants to get into Ernest Heather's slipstream. Looks like JP Brand is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curve can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. We'll have to wait to see if JP Brand can use the draft to their advantage, or if the lack of downforce will hinder their progress.
Jacobus Besson is on a mission, chasing Lyle Ramsey, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. This one's going to be tough. Richard Reshka is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for Jamie Nichols to make a move.
That's right, Richard Reshka is showing some great form, and it looks like Jamie Nichols won't be able to catch up, barring any mistakes.
This is not looking good for Jamie Nichols. They've just lost fourth to Taihan Van Ruyen, and their strategy seems to be failing them.
They've been focusing so hard on maintaining their position, and now they've slipped back in the field. Meanwhile, Taihan Van Ruyen has been making some great moves and is now on the charge.
This is where the true champions shine, and Danny Van Ruyen, and that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Danny Van Ruyen. What a fantastic race from Joni Geldenhuys, who brings it home in second place.
Brilliant, Joni Geldenhuys showed great skill and determination to take second place.
KYALAMI 2016, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Starting just behind the front runners in second place is the determined driver, Sean Motter. Holding strong in third place is JP Brand. The fourth position belongs to Bradley Taylor.
And like many others, they are starting the race on the medium's tire compound.
Our fifth-place starter, Ernest Heather, is poised to make a move towards the front. Sitting in sixth is Jamie Nichols. As the engines roar to life, Taihan van Ruyen prepares to take off from the seventh position on the starting grid.
Starting on the medium's tires.
The eighth starting position belongs to Richard Reshka, who will be looking to make up ground early on. Our ninth-place starter, Joni Geldenhuis, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track.
And
just like that, the race has started. Now, we'll see who has the skill and nerve to outmaneuver their rivals.
Avoiding contact while trying to gain position is essential. The first lap is often where we see incidents that can change the course of the race.
It's like Danny Van Ruyen had a pair of wings tucked away, because they've soared up the leaderboard in the blink of an eye.
It's like Danny Van Ruyen had an extra helping of determination for breakfast today, but let's see if they can keep up the pace for the whole race.
Richard Reshka looks like they have got off to a flying first lap, gaining places straight out of the gate.
It's early days yet, but if they can keep up this momentum, they might just find themselves on the podium.
Joni Geldenhuis has nailed the start, gaining places early on. They should be pleased with that.
I'm sure they will be pleased with that for sure, but I don't know how long they will be able to hold on to that place, as they have struggled to match the pace of the leaders in practice and qualifying. Peter.
The drivers are jockeying for position. Bradley Taylor will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position.
The first lap can always be a bit of a melee as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
He's pulling away. Jamie Nichols is increasing the gap to Peter Geldenhuis. This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
That's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics. And like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap just watching them. The battle for 8 is heating up as Taihan van Ruyen tries to catch Ernest Besson in P8. Fantastic move from Taihan van Ruyen, who has just gained a position.
Absolutely. Taihan van Ruyen is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
This is getting exciting. Lyle Ramsey is looking for any gap that might open up the position. Ernest Besson has just dropped the ball. Lyle Ramsey didn't waste any time taking advantage of that.
That's some bad luck for Ernest Besson. They just couldn't hold on to it, but they can always regroup and get on the attack.
The action is heating up here as Joni Geldenhuis is in 10th, defending from Ernest Besson, who is only 0.3 seconds away.
Joni Geldenhuis is doing a great job of defending in the lead, and Ernest Besson is pushing hard to close the gap. It's an exciting race and it's not over yet.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Sean Motter, who is currently in P12. But Joni Geldenhuis is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Sean Motter.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Sean Motter in 12th determined to catch up. But we know Joni Geldenhuys isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Sean Motter is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
Lyle Ramsey is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between JP Brand in 10th and Lyle Ramsey. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.4, and just like that, the race has started. Now, we'll see who has the skill and nerve to outmaneuver their rivals.
Avoiding contact while trying to gain position is essential. The first lap is often where we see incidents that can change the course of the race.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Taihan Van Ruyen will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. JP Brand is chasing Warren Dodd in P9.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curves and pushing the car to its limits.
The delta between Joni Geldenhuys in 12th and Lyle Ramsey remains over a second, but Joni Geldenhuys is not letting up. And just like that, the race has started. Now, we'll see who has the skill and nerve to outmaneuver their rivals.
Avoiding contact while trying to gain position is essential. The first lap is often where we see incidents that can change the course of the race.
Things don't look to be going Warren Dodd's way, as already they are into the pits.
Well, races can be won or lost in the pits, but in this case it's all bad news for Warren Dodd. It's going to be tough to come back from.
It looks like Bradley Taylor is pushing hard to catch up to Ernest Heather. That's not a small gap, but Bradley Taylor has what it takes to challenge for the position. Hold up, breaking info. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The race is heating up as Bradley Taylor in third closes in on Ernest Heather. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Look at that, Taihan Van Ruyen is hot on the tail of Bradley Taylor. Hold up, breaking info. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Impressive stuff from Peter Geldenhuys, who has managed to pull away from JP Brand, leaving them in choking in their exhaust fumes. As a former racing driver, Annie, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Peter. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
It may seem like Joni Geldenhuys is far behind, but Lyle Ramsey can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Joni Geldenhuys an opening to catch up.
Absolutely, and on the other side of the equation, Joni Geldenhuys can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Joni Geldenhuys is right on the heels of Lyle Ramsey, and we're in for a wild ride.
Should things go awry, Joni Geldenhuys and Lyle Ramsey might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Some great driving from Ernest Besson, who has increased their lead over Lyle Ramsey and is starting to put some distance between them.
Yes, it's clear that Ernest Besson is in control out there. They're making it very difficult for Lyle Ramsey to catch up.
Seems like Richard Reshka is getting in range of Ernest Heather.
And if you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Jamie Nichols is breathing down the neck of Richard Reshka, not giving them any room to relax. The intensity is off the charts as JP Brand hounds Peter Geldenhuis, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. What a move! JP Brand has moved up to 7th. Coming into Juxke sweep, the fight for 7th is heating up. Neither driver wants to be the first to blink.
Peter Geldenhuis is so close to JP Brand that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
Every move counts now as Richard Reshka works to reel in Ernest Heather and overtake for P3.
The mental game is just as important here. Richard Reshka must keep their cool while putting pressure on Ernest Heather.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Jamie Nichols trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Richard Reshka. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts.
Absolutely. Jamie Nichols in 5th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Wow, Lyle Ramsey is really pushing hard to catch up to Ernest Besson. There's blood in the water for 10th place.
It's going to be a close one. Lyle Ramsey will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
Breaking alert. Oh dear, Lyle Ramsey has had an incident. In racing, anything can, and usually does, happen, especially in such an epic showdown. It's a close race between Joni Geldenhuis and Peter Geldenhuis in 8th.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
A great moment for Joni Geldenhuis, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Well, it looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam on the track.
It's like rush hour out there. I mean, I know we're in a race, but can't we all just get along?
You can wish all you want, but I don't think that's how racing works, Anya. These drivers are here to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to get ahead.
I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be great if they all just stopped for high fives and fist bumps?
Jacobus Besson is running 11th. They're trying to catch Ernest Besson.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
The tension is building as Lyle Ramsey trails behind Jacobus Besson. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Jacobus Besson is pushing to maintain the lead, while Lyle Ramsey is working to close in and challenge for the position. Ernest Besson has the pedal to the metal chasing Lyle Ramsey.
There is no room for error in this battle.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Jamie Nichols, who is currently in P5. But Richard Reshka is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Jamie Nichols. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Lyle Ramsey and Jacobus Besson, though I doubt the judges would give them a perfect score.
The pursuit is on. Richard Reshka is closing the gap on Ernest Heather, determined to claim P3.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Richard Reshka needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
Jamie Nichols is giving it their all as they chase down Richard Reshka in P4. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Lyle Ramsey in 11th chases after Jacobus Besson. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Lyle Ramsey needs to find a way to close the gap. Impressive driving from Richard Reshka, who has managed to extend their lead over Jamie Nichols. They are walking away at this point, and Jamie Nichols will have to wait to fight another day.
It's clear that Richard Reshka is dominating right now. They're making it very difficult for Jamie Nichols to catch up.
Breaking alert. Oh dear, Lyle Ramsey has had an incident. The pressure is on for Richard Reshka as they try to catch up to Ernest Heather.
The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Richard Reshka is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Ernest Heather.
Superb driving from Richard Reshka, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
You can't argue with results like that. Richard Reshka is really making their mark on this race.
The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics. But we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of computerized robots commenting on a race. Anything can happen.
Bad jokes notwithstanding, you have a point there. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right.
They're so fast, it's like they're breaking the sound barrier. Or at least the speed limit.
I hope the police aren't watching. This is where the race gets really interesting. Bradley Taylor is closing in on Jamie Nichols. Hold up, breaking info. Looks like that's a mistake from Richard Reshka. This could be costly. The delta between Ernest Besson in 13th and Jacobus Besson remains over a second, but Ernest Besson is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 16 minutes left in this session to make that happen. The race is really heating up. Bradley Taylor is hunting down Jamie Nichols with everything they've got. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. It looks like Ernest Besson is pushing hard to catch up to Jacobus Besson. That's not a small gap, but Ernest Besson has what it takes to challenge for the position. This is a thrilling battle as Bradley Taylor edges closer to Jamie Nichols in their fight for P2. It looks like Danny Van Ruyen has found another gear in the last sector of the race.
It takes a special kind of driver to perform under pressure like this. Danny Van Ruyen has certainly risen to the occasion.
The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Danny Van Ruyen.
What a display of skill and precision.
Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Jamie Nichols certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result.
Intense race, but Jamie Nichols held their nerve and earned a great second place.
What a race from Bradley Taylor. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium. Taking 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is Taihan Van Ruyen, Ernest Heather, J.P. Brand, and Richard Reshka. Joni Geldenhuys, Peter Geldenhuys, Lyle Ramsey, and Sean Motter end in 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Jacobus Besson and Hernas Besson brings home 12th and 13th.